Just do it!
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Fanalyst. This your boy Fanalyst.
And you already know this your boy Authentic.
Let's get straight to it. Let's talk about this crazy NFL free agency. What's been going on lately? How you feel about it so far, man?
It's March Madness in the NFL right now, man. I can't believe Sue got cut. All the receivers for the Jaguars got cut. Tyrann Mathieu got cut. And the new destinations for all these free agents is just going to be a mystery to us all. We recently just seen Mathieu signed to the Texans. How you feel about that move?
That was a great move for the Texans. And free agency, yeah, it's been definitely crazy. Yo, sorry for all you Miami Dolphins fans. I just want to get that out there. You guys have been rebuilding since Dan Marino has retired. And it seems like you guys just can never get it right. But I feel for you. I mean, I don't, but I just do because I live in Florida.
That's not nice. I mean, they have some hope. Let's give them some hope in the draft. Maybe they make some moves in the draft. But you guys made some move at offensive line, the Giants, when you guys signed the former Patriot Nate Sullinger. Yeah,
man, that was a great move. We definitely need to boost up that line. And, definitely want to get Saquon Barkley in this draft. But they're talking about, Chubb since we traded Pierre-Paul. But this free agency has definitely been a move, especially for the Cleveland Browns. Like Jarvis Landry, Tyrod Taylor, Randall from the Packers. I mean, they just getting rid of players and then bringing in players. So look for the Browns to definitely win more than what they lost last year.
Definitely. They're going to be a problem for the next possible few years if they get this draft right. They have a lot of draft picks this draft, and they can make a lot of major moves that could benefit them for the future. Another team that's going to be benefiting in this year's draft also, in my opinion, is the Colts. They got a lot for their third overall pick.
Yeah, definitely. The Colts definitely need to make a move right now because they definitely need to help, especially with Andrew Luck coming back from injury. Yeah, they definitely need to make some right moves because they were just so close to making the Super Bowl, and now it's like they're just a mystery.
I know it's real crazy out here, but how do you feel about the quarterback situation in Minnesota?
I mean, that's just crazy to me right now. I mean, Case Keenum, he deserved it. I feel like he needs to stay. Teddy's with the Jets, Sam's with the Cardinals. This is definitely the right move. I mean, Keenan proved that he can lead this team.
Yeah, so I mean, I believe recently he signed with the Broncos, if I'm not mistaken. But do you think he's gonna make a lot of moves for the Broncos?
I think he is. I mean, I feel like Keenan, he's gonna make the right decisions. I feel like with that defense, it's basically like the same thing he did with Minnesota. Good defense, good running game. I think what the Vikings did bringing in Kirk Cousins, you got a proven winner who's had to do so much with the Redskins, and you bring Dalvin Cook back, who showed that he was going to have a stellar rookie season, and hey, Minnesota might be back where they were this past year.
Yeah, hopefully. Now, speaking about getting right back, it looked like the Jaguars took a step back this offseason by releasing a lot of their receivers. And their number one receiver on their current depth chart is Marquise Lee. What do you think the Jaguars are going to do in the free agency, what's left of it, and this upcoming draft to improve their skill position?
I think it's just Tom Coughlin football. If you really look at it, he's just going about it the Giants way. Think about when the Giants won the Super Bowl. They didn't have the best receiver. I mean, Plexico was Plexico, but he wasn't Plexico of what we used to remember Plexico when he first came in the league as a Steeler. They just was ground and pound in defense. And one thing about this Jaguars defense, they're going to be, you can honestly say, they're a few players away from being a new kind of Legion of Boom kind of defense with all the speed they have. And with Leonard Fournette in the backfield, and if Blake Bortles doesn't make any mistakes, hey, You're looking at probably a Baltimore Ravens team all over again when they went with Trent Dilfer in a running game.
Yeah, that's looking pretty dangerous. That is looking pretty dangerous. The biggest free agent right now is Dominican Sue. Where do you think he's going to land? I think, personally, if I were to say he should go to the Raiders, imagine him with Gruden. Sorry. If Gruden and him on the defensive scheme when he had Warren Sapp, that's going to be a problem. He could have back his Warren Sapp, and that'll be a major key for the Raiders.
Nah, I think if I'm Sue, I'm definitely looking at either the Texans or the Rams. Him and Aaron Donalds, that would open up so much for that Rams defense, especially with Aqib Talib and Marcus Peters on the corners. That would just put the Rams on another level. And if Jared Goff and Gurley continue to have the seasons they had last year, continue on to this year, look out, everybody. The Rams are coming.
Yeah, it's going to be scary. But anyway, let's get back into another topic, the tournament, NCAA. How do you feel about this March Madness in college?
Yeah, it's definitely showing that now, if I've been saying it for years, it doesn't matter what school you go to. All you kids out there thinking I got to go to the Kentuckys and the Dukes. I mean, I love Duke. That's my favorite team in college. If you got the right team, you can beat anybody. Anybody's beatable. No one's unstoppable. And that's what this March Madness has shown us. We've seen the first ever 16 knock off a 1 seed. We got more Cinderella stories this whole March Madness than I've ever seen. So, I mean, like I said, it doesn't matter where you go. It matters how you build with your teammates.
You're absolutely right. So who do you have as the clear-cut favorite in the Sweet 16 to win the whole thing?
Oh, yeah. Ever since, Virginia got knocked out, Michigan State, definitely going with Duke. I felt like from the beginning of the season, Duke was the clear-cut favorite with just even though one senior. I just felt like they just had the better surrounding players. Marvin Bagley's just a beast. Wendell Carter's a beast with the defense. Gary Trent Jr., he reminds me of like a young Courtney Lee. Could shoot the three, play defense. And then Tracy Duvall, he can get to the rack at will. His shot has definitely improved over the tournament. And, Grayson Allen, he's become more of the leader that everybody hoped he would be. And he's done a great job for Duke. And like I always say, every time Grayson Allen gets to the second half of the season, his game just steps up to another level. So Duke is still my pick, but then, Villanova is not too far away because they were just off a national title 2 years ago.
All right, so do you feel based on this tournament, anybody's NBA stock draft rose or dropped?
Definitely I feel like Trae Young's stock dropped. He's still a top 10 pick, but I felt like I tell everybody, to me, the top point guard besides the European dude from overseas is definitely Jalen Brunson. I felt like as a legit leader, even though, Jalen Brunson had a better overall team than Trae, I felt like what Jalen Brunson has done in a better conference, who actually produced more players in the more teams in the tournament, has shown to continue to be the top point guard in this year's NCAA.
Okay, well, hopefully the Knicks get something because I know what you saw the Heat did to y'all last night. Amen. But we're not going to get into that because that's just personal jabs.
Definitely. Let's talk about these early entries, though. Of course, we've seen that, Ayton, the 7-foot beast, declared. Mamba from Texas. Trier, who also I expected to also leave early, who a lot of people aren't talking about, but I see him as a 6-man off the bench scorer for a bunch of teams. Definitely he to me would be a steal in the second round. But definitely this draft, if anybody's looking for a big man, this is the year of the big man. There's just so many centers with so much high potential. And I just think like this draft, you might not miss on anybody. I feel like that's how deep this draft is.
Yeah, I agree when it comes to the depth of the draft. I just found out there's this one high school senior that just forgoed going to college to enter the draft, and he was expected to be a top 5 pick in next year's draft. His last name is Simon. I believe.
Oh, Anthony Simmons? Yeah.
Yes.
He's the IMG player. Definitely heard a lot about him. He was supposed to go to Kentucky or Duke, but he stayed, you know that prep school rule. You can stay in prep and forego. He's considered a first-round pick, so, and I've definitely seen his highlights. He's definitely raw talent, as they would say. Definitely raw talent. And also another big man who, I can't remember his name. I think he had committed to Western Kentucky and then got into some trouble. He's still going to declare for the draft and is still considered a first-round pick from, I guess, Chaminade High School. So, yeah, like I said, this draft is going to be filled with a lot of players, but I definitely feel like there's going to be a lot more steals in the second round from players that they've been talking about, like the Devontae Grahams. They said Grayson Allen's probably going to fall to the second round, so definitely be on the lookout for all these players. I mean, who do you feel like to you so far who you've seen in college as he's just a can't miss?
Ayton is definitely can't miss, and I also feel like Bagley is can't miss. Bagley is a problem from Duke. He is honestly one of the more patient big men in the draft. A lot of people compare him to Tim Duncan, and honestly, I can see why. He's very good. Like, he's very mature for his age. Like, when he's playing, he doesn't look like a freshman. He looks like a senior among freshmen. Yeah. However, Ayton has the most upside out of all of them, in my personal opinion. He's very dominant. A lot of people are trying to say he's one of the more dominant big men. Yeah. So that's something that I can't wait to see who picks him up. Hopefully, you never know. I think Phoenix might be able to pick him up, but we got to see how the draft lottery go.
Yeah, definitely. You know how the lottery is. You can never know who's going to get the top pick. But let's get back into now this NBA season. Let's talk about my boy, Damian Lillard, and these Portland TRAILBLAZERS. They have just been on a winning streak. And like I've been telling people, every year when they talk about the top point guards, they never seem to put Damian Lillard in it. And I'm honestly here to tell you guys, I'm going to name my top 4 point guards. I'm just say 4 because I don't even put a 5 right now. It's definitely Steph, Russ, Chris Paul, and Damian. Not taking anything away from Kyrie, Lowry, or Wall. But to me, as considered as a point guard superstar who's led their team, no one has done it more than Damian Lillard himself on just having a team for himself. After you lose LaMarcus Aldridge, you lose 92% of your team, and every year they're like, oh, they're not going to make the playoffs, and he makes the playoffs every year, and now they're the 3rd seed on a 14-game winning streak, averaging 30 points a game. I understand Harden's the clear-cut MVP, but I definitely can't knock that Damian Lillard's a clear-cut second.
Yeah, I definitely do agree that Damian Lillard deserves his name mentioned in the MVP bout, but he's really underappreciated. Maybe it's because of the market he's in, but the winning streak that he was just on and everything that he's accomplished without a real tier 1 superstar in the NBA, he deserves more credit than some of these players and point guards that are getting more credit than him. And for me, my top 5 point guards are, number 1, I would have to go with Steph. 2, I would have to go with Chris Paul. 3, to be honest, Russell Westbrook. 4, Damian Lillard. And my 5th would have to be Kyrie.
Yeah, same thing with me.
Would be Kyrie. It's crazy.
Yeah, but now let's think about this. With the team, the way Portland's been playing, are they one superstar away from being a legit like threat now? Like if they just got that one like tier cut superstar, because right now what I've been hearing with free agency this summer, Jabari gonna be on the move. They could put him at the 3 with CJ McCollum and Damian. Boogie's on the move. So there's a lot. Anthony Davis is on the move. So, I mean, this free agency could hopefully, if they could land one of those guys, do that put them over the hump.
Well, when it comes to Portland, I feel like they're 1-star player and a 6-man away from being a title contender. They have a solid starting 5 And if they were to get somebody like a Boogie Cousins or even an Anthony Davis, who's slightly younger and more athletic, they can be in the race, and they'll also be more dominant and hard to go against when they going up against a team like Golden State, because Golden State have trouble guarding Lillard and McCollum already.
Yeah, definitely. Now let's talk about this OKC Thunder. Has Corey Brewer been the answer this whole time?
Looks like he's the key after Andre Roberson got injured earlier in this season. He's now playing in the offensive scheme that's helping out, and he's playing defense. He's just D&3.
Yeah, that's it. He's definitely giving them a lot more on the defensive end and more scoring than Andre Roberson has ever done. Like I say, man, OKC, to me, they just weren't built for the regular season, but they are a team that's built for the playoffs. So anybody who's trying to see them, I definitely would be scared right now. So who you got still making it to the title? You still got the Warriors and the Cavs?
Honestly, right now, I feel like the Cavs might make it, but they're just kind of like iffy for me. I just got to see how they start blending in a little more towards the end of the season, because they're just too on and off for me at this current moment.
Yeah, I feel what you're saying. Even though I still got the Warriors, whoever they face, winning probably like 4-1 or 4-2. That's just me being honest
and realistic.
Yeah, exactly. Man, let's talk about this upcoming summer, though. This summer is going to be amazing because people are talking about free agency, NBA titles. Let's talk about the World Cup, probably the most watched sport right now in the world.
Well, when it comes to the World Cup, I can't wait for it because Russia is going to be amazing. The whole World Cup is going to be amazing. There's going to be a lot of people who are rooting for Brazil, but honestly, I don't see them as a clear-cut favorite. I still think that it's Germany's World Cup to lose. But one of the sleepers in the World Cup this year are teams like France, Belgium. You can even look at a team like Portugal, who's been improving. They just won the last Euros against France. So you got to look at teams like that when it comes to this World Cup. Argentina as well, who got probably the greatest attack out of all of the World Cup competitors.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like, this is the last shot for both Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. I feel like Lionel Messi has done everything needed to get Argentina where they need to be. It's just the other attackers just need to put in their 2 cents. Aguero, Higuain, Di Maria. I feel like when it comes to the World Cup, they don't put in the same effort as Messi. And Argentina's defense hasn't let anybody down. I mean, when they played Germany didn't even score but 1 point? And then when they played Brazil, they let off 7. So, I mean, those two teams are to me the crowd favorite, as I would say, because they're the two most likable players and everybody would love to see them win. I feel like that's the one thing that's just missing from Messi's resume as the greatest of all time, and that's the World Cup.
Well, hopefully we get it, because in Messi we trust, but when you look at the tactics that the German squad have, it makes no sense because they only lost, I believe, 1 game in the past 2 years. 1 game. That's incredible. So you got to look at that when you're thinking about this World Cup, and they're going to be in Russia. So they have more of a home field advantage comparing them to the likes of Argentina, Brazil, because Brazil definitely doesn't like to play in the snow.
Yeah, definitely got a point there. I mean, yeah, Germans are just built differently, man. They're some big dudes, man. Some big dudes. And they've dominated soccer for years. I mean, they were dominating soccer since we've been growing up, not just in the male, but even in the female. But now, I think it's just time for a change. I feel like this year, Germany's they're going to get far, but they're not going to get to where people expect them to be. I still think this has been a year of just the underdogs, period, just in every sport.
Yep, the year of the underdog. It's real crazy. But when it comes to regular soccer and Champions League, have you been keeping up? Because I know you saw Chelsea just get destroyed by Messi the Great himself.
Yeah, man, it was a hurtful thing to watch. But I mean, you can never go against Barcelona. Their just style of play is just so unbeatable, and the free form of Messi and the speed of Dembele and the scoring ability of Suarez. I mean, that team is just hard to beat. Definitely right now, I feel like we're looking hopefully at a Real Madrid and Barcelona final, if the way the draw is playing out, and I would love to see that. Just love to see a Ronaldo versus Messi clash. I just feel like it's just the best thing ever.
Yeah, that would be something nice to see, but honestly, how many more clashes we have to see Ronaldo get schooled by Messi? How many times we have to see Ronaldo get schooled? Like, the thing is, when it comes to Ronaldo, he's not a player that can carry a team like Messi can. He has to have a great team, a great passing system for him. You don't see Ronaldo running the ball from midfield and scoring, like comparing him to Messi. You see him get the ball at a quick cross or anything like that, instant goal. Or it's a penalty, or it's a special free kick.
Yeah, you're definitely right. But all right, guys, that's it for Fanalyst. I'm your boy Fanalyst.
And you already know, this your boy Rothenic.
Yeah, have a good night.
All right,